Melissa, and this is my channel, Hopeful Happenings. Today we're going to do an interview with the audiobook narrator, Emma Pack. She is actually one of my friends from long ago. We used to go to high school together, we played rugby together, and it's so cool to see that she's come into the writing world through this area because it's one that I'm not very familiar with. So I've come here to ask her some questions about audiobooks. Because we're having issues with technology, she pre-recorded her answers to the questions I sent her, so I'll just post those questions up here on the board and then you can see it and hear her answers afterwards. Make sure you watch the whole video because at the very end we'll have a special gift for you for watching.
Hi Melissa! I've always loved reading, and I especially loved listening to audiobooks. I grew up listening to Jim Dale's Harry Potters, and I fell in love with the way that he created all of these voices and made the world so vivid for me while I was listening. I also have always loved acting, and as a kid I was in a ton of plays and I always wanted to be an actress, but I didn't really think that it would be something that I could do. I was watching Murphy Napier. She is a booktuber, and she said that she began audiobook narration through a website called acx.com. And I looked into it and found out that it was in fact a legitimate website where you could do at-home audiobook narration, and your narration will appear on Amazon and Audible, which I thought was absolutely amazing. So I did some more research, looked into what was needed in order to do it, and realized that I actually could do it, and I've been doing it ever since. The thing that I've liked the most about doing audiobook narration is the acting. Like I said, I always wanted to be an actress, so now I get to be an actor for a number of different characters in one single book. I also love that I'm the person that is able to help bring this new world and characters to life, and that I'm able to provide this new experience for people who are listening to the story for the first time. But I think the biggest dislike for me is sometimes it can be really frustrating. Sometimes I just can't get the characters' voices right, or my technology just really does not want to work for me that day. So things like that can be really frustrating, and just learning how to use the program, it can be a bit of a headache, but it is well worth it. I think the biggest challenge for me is just creating the characters' voices and making sure that each character has their own distinct voice that represents the characteristics that are presented by the author. I found it more challenging to create male voices that had distinct characteristics, so I think that was one of the biggest challenges. Also, getting used to using my voice so much. It can be really taxing creating all of these voices and doing them for hours on end, so I think that was also challenging. My first couple of weeks I actually got sick and completely lost my voice, so also figuring out what to do next. How should I schedule my narration so that if I get sick, I will have work to do while I can't talk. My most recent audiobook is called 7 Hours, and it's written by Jada D. DeLarge. It is about 5 strangers who wake up on a plane and they don't know how they got there. They have no idea where they're going. They're from all different parts of the country, so they don't even know what they have in common. So the novel is about their journey of trying to unpack their trauma. So through ACX, there are 3 different payment options. The first one is per finished hour, and that is where you get paid for each hour that is actually completed in the audiobook. The range is from $50 per finished hour to over $400 per finished hour. And the industry standard is $200 to $400 per finished hour. And it's important to remember that it's not how much you actually work, it's just how many hours the audiobook is. So one completed hour generally takes around 6 to 12 hours to complete. So if you're only working for $50 per finished hour, it's not a very good deal. The other 2 options are royalty share options. The first one is a straight up royalty share. You get about 20% of each audiobook sold after all is said and done. The last is a royalty share plus option, which is a royalty share. You still get the same percentage, but you also get a little compensation straight up. So this is used by most people to outsource their editing and mastering to sound engineers. I think the first thing is to do your research. Figure out if it's actually something that you want to do and something that you want to learn. Audiobook narration isn't just reading the book. You have to actually act it. You have to evoke a bunch of different emotions, so it's not as easy as it sounds sometimes. The second would be to invest in equipment. You want to make sure that you're using good equipment because you're not going to get very many jobs, or at least not very many good jobs, if you're using low quality microphones. And lastly is talking to other audiobook narrators. So there are a few Facebook groups. One of my favorite ones is called Indie ACX and Others. And in order to get into this group, you need to create a profile on ACX and upload at least one sample. From there, you're able to communicate with a ton of different narrators, and if you have questions, they answer it, and on the page there's a wealth of knowledge. And lastly, there is a blog written by Karen Commons, and that has a plethora of knowledge. It's absolutely amazing. It gives you everything you could possibly imagine. I think lastly, it's just to prepare yourself for a steep learning curve. Everything from learning how to use your audio programming to creating different voices and researching different accents and how you say different words. There's a lot to do, so just preparing yourself for the work that is ahead. As an audiobook narrator, you get promo codes that can be used in Canada, the US, and the UK. On my Twitter, I am doing a giveaway. All you have to do to enter is follow me on Twitter at EmmaPack2, EMMAPAK and the number 2, and retweet the post with the contest. And then you'll be entered to receive one of 2 free copies of the 7 Hours audiobook. And if you post on the comment letting me know that you came from Hopeful Happenings, then you will get a second entry. Bye, Melissa. Thank you so much for having me on your channel.
Woo! Thank you so much, Emma, for doing that for us. That was awesome. I learned so much about audiobooks. I really had no idea. Now you've really got to go check out her audiobook. She does a fantastic job. I'll have everything linked down below so you can find it easily and get that promo to save you money. If you learned something new in this video, then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a week of writing content. Until next week, happy writing. Bye!